What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you don't know me, my name is Yvan. I am a creator, communications coach, and a third-year medical student. And today we're talking about wisdom. We're talking philosophy here, boys. So buckle up, boys and girls. So buckle up. So what exactly is wisdom, and how can you get wisdom today? Wisdom is what I call life intelligence. See, there's intelligence like you get when you go to school, when you sweat on your exams, you do good, you get that intelligence, right? Maybe you get the intelligence of the human body, intelligence of the law, and get the intelligence to how to build a house. But most people don't have life intelligence. Most people can't really see situations, analyze them, and avoid dangerous situations or go towards positive situations. Most people are their own worst enemy because they lack wisdom. So here's exactly how I developed wisdom, and it's something that can be developed. The only way I developed wisdom was through watching myself like a movie. Yes, I said it, like a movie. Think of your favorite movie. Think of how attentively you watch that movie. Think of how you get lost in it, how you get lost in the plot of the characters. You have to do the same thing with your life. So you have to learn how you react to situations. You have to see the situations that you always find yourself in, see the situations that you stumble in, and you have to analyze that like you're reading a book or you're watching your favorite movie. Right? This is how you achieve wisdom. Everything that you go through in life, you have to take it through the lens of a study. You have to reflect on these things, right? And that's the only way you have dominion over your mind and dominion over your life circumstances. So here are some stories about how I developed wisdom, just even in college. Here's my story of how I started training martial arts and how wisdom told me to start training martial arts, okay? So summer 2018, I was in maybe freshman year of college, or I was going into my sophomore year of college, and I was in Riverside, California, which is in Southern California. I had moved in, I was taking summer classes, I was taking chemistry 1A. I remember this moment vividly. Super nervous because first time taking a science class. I was in a city, in the house that I was living in, and no one was there. My roommates weren't there, so I invited my girlfriend at the time over. Her and I are just kind of talking and chatting, maybe just eating food, maybe even thumb wrestling a little bit, right? Her and I had really good chemistry. Maybe she'll watch this, who knows? But yeah, so as I get ready to go to sleep, my bed was here. There was like a window right next to me, and boom, I just see like knocking on my window. When I look through the corner of the window, I see like a face, bam. Now my heart rate is racing, right? I'm like, does this guy live here? No, he doesn't live here, because everyone that lives here is at home, so he doesn't live here. I'm super nervous, and I just see his face there again, like 2 minutes later. And then I hear footsteps go towards the front door, and I just hear knocking. So at this point, my heart rate is through the roof. My heart is like literally at my knees. I could see my girlfriend at the time, she's more scared than I am. I gotta be cool because, I'm the guy, I gotta be stoic. Man, super nervous. She's like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Oh my God, someone's trying to get into the house. And I just see like our door banging, like this guy is visibly trying to open the door, trying to get into the house. And then like, I heard footsteps circle around the backyard. So now this guy he's trying every door. The backyard isn't successful. He comes back to the front door. I get up, I get out of my bed. I go to the closet, I grab 2 belts, right? That's all I had. She says, what are you doing? What are you doing? I said, shh, it's okay. Just relax, right? And I said, listen, if I don't come back in 5 minutes, call my other roommate and tell him to call the police. Guys, I'm nervous. Nervous is an understatement. I'm scared. I take the belts, I tie them around my knuckles. I have 2 belts around my knuckles. And I walk into the dark. I literally walk into danger. And at this point, the guy is now in front of our house again. He's outside the door. He's just banging. And there's like 2 doors. The house had 2 doors that separated each other. And I was like outside the door, and he was outside the other door. He didn't know that I was there, but I knew he was there. And I was just waiting for him. And man, this guy was like a 6'8" guy, big afro, like huge, maybe like 235 pounds. Like could have easily overpowered me. And I was just waiting for him in the dark. And it felt like I waited for like 10 or 15 minutes. He just kept trying to break through the door, banging his body against the door. And I just waited, and I told myself that, man, if this guy gets through the door, I have to tackle him, and like, if I survive, I survive. And it wasn't even like thinking, it was just like instinct. You know how like self-preservation is the #1 instinct? That's what I was thinking about. And I knew my girlfriend was in the other room just freaking out. Man, so for 15 minutes, this guy's trying to get into the house. I'm just waiting there. And I told myself, I had a realization that came to me. It said, man, if I make it out of here alive, I'm gonna start training. Because at the time, I didn't know how to defend myself. I knew nothing about martial arts. I probably threw a punch like this. I didn't know how to defend myself. I hadn't taken anything. So I was like, man, this feeling of being helpless is the last time I ever experienced this. I'm gonna train. And man, that guy tried to get into the house for 15 minutes. He kind of gave up, he fatigued. I just hear footsteps storm down the street, and I just wait another 5 minutes. And I see the guy yelling, just frustrated. And man, I go back to the room. And my girlfriend's in there, and she's she has like the covers over her head. She's freaking out. The bed is just wet from sweat. She's just like perspiring for the past 30, 45 minutes. And while I was in the hallway, it felt like 2 hours just waiting for that guy. And man, the next day when I woke up, her and I had a good breakfast. We, talked a little bit, chatted and stuff like that. She was like, how are you so bold? How are you so brave? For the ego, it feels good, but I just knew that I was scared. I just can relay that to her. And man, after she left around like 1 p.m., I went down and I signed up for boxing, Riverside Boxing. That's how I started. So I started boxing, then I started judo, and then I did that throughout college, and I learned how to defend myself, and then I learned that, like, oh my God, martial arts is actually kind of something that's fun, that's enjoyable. Then it became like a form of creativity. But I started training because I had the wisdom. I reflected on that situation. During the situation, I reflected. I was like, oh, I'm never gonna find myself in this position. And because I reflected on it, I acted, and I have that wisdom, right? And for the past, I don't know how many, 5-6 years, I've been training in different martial arts. But that's not to say I'm a tough guy or anything like that. No, it's just saying, like, I learned from a situation where my life was on the line, and now I know that if I was ever put in that situation, I'd be a little bit more prepared, right? So that's how I achieved wisdom in that situation. Another situation is, like, I told you guys about martial arts, so I started like doing jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. I started competing. I went to California and competed, and I lost. I won 2 matches. I lost 1 match. If you guys are interested, you can go on my YouTube shorts and look at my matches, and I have them up there. But yeah, I lost to this guy that was like 6'6". He was my size, my height, my weight, and he just won. He just dominated me that match, and I had to reflect on, like, dang, I really lost, like, in such an embarrassing manner. But it taught me about, like, the holes in my game, the inadequacies. I realized that I couldn't beat myself. I couldn't beat someone that has the same attributes as me. So my skill set has to improve. So that was wisdom, and that came from reflection. A similar situation happened in medical school. There's times where I failed exams, or even when I was going into medical school, I failed the MCAT. I got a terrible score my first time on the MCAT, and I had to retake the MCAT again with 11 days. And I had to reflect. At first, I didn't think I could do it, but I had to reflect. I had to see why I failed. So failure isn't just like random. It's not just chance. There's always a reason why you failed. And if you reflect on that, then you can get the wisdom from the situation, and the lesson will replace the pain that you feel. And once you get the lesson, you can move on, right? So that's how you get wisdom. You have to get wisdom through reflection. Don't be mad at the situations that you find yourself in. Life happens, we're like prescribed with curriculum. Sometimes we just end up in situations, or we make bad decisions. You shouldn't beat yourself up about it, but you should take the lesson from the situation. I take everything as my teacher. I have this belief that everything works out for my benefit. So I use everything as my own teacher. Man, so another way of getting wisdom is, another way that reflection applies is through relationships. Let's say you're dating someone. I remember when I was in college, I had a girl in my dreams. She knows who she is. Girl in my dreams I dated. And things went sour between us. And man, there was like two paths I could have took. I could have took the first path, which is just like kind of blaming her, or I could take the second path and just seeing what I did that went wrong. So I took this path. I realized, I looked at myself, right? I looked at what I did wrong in the situation. Even if it was minor, anything like that, I looked at myself, I analyzed myself, I self-analyzed everything that happened. I got the wisdom from the situation. So my brother always says, like, he's like, man, life doesn't let you skip second grade. And what exactly does that mean? That means that the universe or God is gonna give you certain lessons, and you're gonna go through the same situations until you learn the lesson from it. So you don't get to move on, you don't get to skip a grade, right? The grade of life. And examples, like, if you're someone that, like, I know people that have been drinking and driving, that have 2 drinking and driving charges. So they're gonna keep getting that, they're gonna keep dealing with that situation until they learn the lesson from that. I know people that are losing their keys. It can be something small as losing your keys all the time. You're gonna keep losing your keys until you learn the lesson of responsibility. People that are tardy, always late, you're gonna keep being late and keep losing opportunities until you learn the lesson. People that just go broke every month, which I've experienced too. Like, you're gonna learn your lesson, until you learn how to budget money effectively. Or even it could be even things more serious, like you're just like a perpetual date, or you're perpetually failing exams, or you're perpetually just embarrassing yourself, or clumsy, or things like that. You're gonna keep going through the same situations until you learn your lesson. So guys, if you want wisdom today, if you want it tomorrow, if you want wisdom today, this evening, right, depending on where you're watching this from, you have to go into reflection. Everything that happens in your life, you have to analyze it like you're analyzing your favorite movie. You have to see what happened objectively. what you did, what the other person or other situation did, what happened, why were you in that environment. You have to look at you have to look at things from every angle and reflect honestly, and that's how you get lessons from everything in life. So you could be 20 and wise as an old soul because you are reflecting. So guys, that's the video. If you took something away from that video, make sure you comment below and make sure you follow the page. We're gonna always have content coming from you, things that you'll enjoy, things that maybe you've never thought about, or maybe give a different perspective in this thing called life. And let's just discover life together. So guys, that's it. My name is Yvan, tuning out.